What's going on? I'm live, but give me just a second. Looks like, there we go. All right, just had to make sure that everything was working properly. It is a late Wednesday night, 10:30. Some of you may have heard, some of you may have not heard. Carolina Panthers have traded the Cleveland Browns for their first round, number one overall pick. Quarterback Baker Mayfield is now coming to the Carolina Panthers. Hello, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the late video, but I gotta be a reliable source. I gotta get on for a second just to have some quick reactions to the Baker Mayfield thing, which now at this point is probably about 8 hours old or so that information first came out. Quite an interesting day for me personally regarding the Baker Mayfield situation as I was talking with sources. And man, I'll tell you, I made a mistake, didn't ask a question that I need to ask. But nevertheless, it's cool. It happens. I'll continue to do what I do and be a resource for you all. No doubt I love what I do. So, going to talk shortly and briefly about the Carolina Panthers acquisition via trade with Cleveland Browns of Baker Mayfield. Late night, so I don't know how many people will jump on, but if you have any questions, jump in, ask the questions. Certainly, this news today makes between now and July 26th, I believe is the date. I might be wrong, for when the Carolina Panthers start their training camp down in Wofford. I would imagine tomorrow, Thursday, we'll get a chance to media. We'll get a chance to talk with Baker Mayfield. I could be totally wrong. I'm purely speculating there. But if it happens, tune in, let you know. Be sure to, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please hit that subscribe button. If you already subscribed, hit the like button. That's a free way to really support this channel and help other Carolina Panthers fans find out about me, the man of the people, the man that likes going to get your questions answered from coaches, players, sources, wherever I need to go get that information from. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the details of this. Actually, let me see this. I want to make that a scrolling breaking news thing, but I messed it up. So let me get that off the screen. But let's talk about how this trade happened. Carolina Panthers have had a strong interest in Baker Mayfield for some time, and everybody knows they've been waiting for the money to get closer and in their favor. Carolina Panthers had a little bit of this game of cat and mouse with the Cleveland Browns, and that they did pretty good in the draft. They got Matt Corral, third round pick. A good-looking prospect at quarterback, and they already have Sam Darnold, not yet giving them what they want, but still, an able body, if you will, at quarterback. And they also knew that Baker Mayfield wasn't happy in Cleveland, didn't want to go back to Cleveland, so just like, let's keep making this waiting game. So here's financially how this all came together. The Carolina Panthers are going to be responsible for approximately $5 million for Baker. That's pretty inexpensive. I didn't look it up, but I really feel like that's less than they paid for Cam Newton last year. I don't know 100% because I didn't think to look at that and make sure before I talked about it, but only $5 million for a first round number one overall pick from Baker Mayfield. Cleveland's eating up the rest of that money, and then to make it all work, Baker agreed to take about a $3.5 million cut from his salary in order to make this possible. Now, there are sources that are saying that Baker will have the ability to make that up, that $3.5 million in incentives. Don't know what those incentives are. Maybe that'll be something that comes out, and if so, I'll be sure to report that to you. But that's the financial terms that made this happen. Additionally, the Carolina Panthers gave let me go ahead and put this on screen. They gave a fifth round pick in 2024, so a couple of years away, fifth round pick, but it does indeed become a fourth round pick should Baker Mayfield play 70% of the snaps this year. Pretty fair possibility. So what do you get in Baker Mayfield? Well, you don't know 100% what you get for Baker Mayfield. He had a shoulder injury that he suffered, I believe it was about in week 2 last year. Played through most of it, and then I believe around week 14 he got injured, and it was just too bad, and had to have the surgery, missed the rest of the season. So you're going to see how he recovers from that, and how he plays as he continues to try to, become and maintain an elite status quarterback in the NFL. His biggest thing, well, I won't say his biggest thing, but in my opinion, a big thing that Baker has a problem with, that Sam Darnold has had a problem with, is interceptions. He has thrown a lot of interceptions. But a big difference between Baker Mayfield and really a lot of other quarterbacks is how much, some people may want to say cockiness, confidence, brash, boldness, moxie that a quarterback like Baker Mayfield brings to the huddle. That's always exciting for some reason. Like, hey, you like that guy that has that dog in him kind of thing. Cam was one of those guys as well. Not saying like they're performance-wise the same, but just in terms of that flavor that they bring to the huddle with Baker Mayfield. So I see a few people have signed on with some comments here. I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm going to get to these comments, and then we'll have this little free-for-all Q&A session, which I love to have. Robbie Anderson. If you didn't think about Robbie Anderson today, I don't know where you've been following the Carolina Panthers, but Robbie Anderson had what was seemingly negative comments about Baker Mayfield. He cleared it up, saying, "Hey man, I was just cheering for my quarterback that I had. That's all I was doing, just cheering for my current quarterback." Interestingly enough, Robbie Anderson today tweeted his response from that press conference that we had, I don't know, maybe about a month ago now, in which we had a chance to talk to Robbie, and he, that's what he said. Hey, I'm just cheering for my quarterback. So seems like he's ready to welcome Baker Mayfield into the Carolina Panthers huddle and see what can be made of it, all right? So that's all of my spiel. Again, I see some comments that have come through. I'm going to touch on some of them. And then let's see, get through this YPX. Yo, what's going on? Zach Rose, an awesome trade. Now, Zach, it really, really seems like everybody has been much happier with this Carolina Panthers team this offseason than in previous seasons. Everybody, for the most part, on Twitter, is where you get to see a lot of people's feelings, liked the 2022 draft. They liked how we worked everything, getting a lineman first, getting a quarterback third round, not giving up too much to get him, and then filling up other spots on the offensive line and on the other side of the ball on defense with that draft. A lot of people didn't like the Sam Darnold acquisition as far as how much we gave up, and a lot of people liked the fact that we did not give up a ton to get Baker Mayfield. He actually, like I said, absorbed a $3.5 million pay cut to make this all work. They're not tied to Baker beyond this year as well. So it's a pretty good, we're used to those 30-day trials or 7-day trials kind of thing, $9.99 instead of full price. That's essentially what the Carolina Panthers got. So I myself, I'm looking forward to this thing and seeing what all comes together and seeing how Matt Rule handles it. I mean, I can't say this is perfect, but I would say that they have set Matt Rule has set himself up with Scott Fitterer, with coaching personnel changes, with player acquisitions and draft and trades to say, like, this team should compete. They have all the pieces to compete. So we shall see. We shall see. Cam was $4.5 million with the $1.5 million roster bonus. Thanks, Chris Smith, for that information. Like I said, I felt like it was pretty close to what they did with Cam. Taylor says she is kind of in the middle on the trade. I'm glad it's a 1-year deal. I don't expect much, but I think it's a low-risk trade. I feel bad for PJ, though. Yeah, that's why I know you're saying, but is still good, right? You can feel like terrible, and you knew they weren't going to get anything that was blockbuster at this point. But the way that they positioned this deal to try out a guy, let me point this out, right? Try out a guy that has a lot of bravado. Try out a guy that has a big arm, but you're also trying out a guy who helped this Cleveland Browns team win a playoff game. I I'm not a big stat person on all the other teams, so I can't just rattle them off. But I don't know the last time the Cleveland Browns made it to the playoffs, and Baker Mayfield did that. He made it possible. So he has something there that is something to build on. What's up, Chris Johnson? Appreciate you tuning in. Shakit, I knew you was going to tune in, man. I always appreciate you tuning in, having some comments, giving me some things to talk about. Trade made you very excited, but thanks to, I don't know, laryngitis from the cold, I couldn't yell out the excitement. This trade made the Panthers a 10-12 win team. Hey, I'm sorry that you're not feeling too good. I hope you feel better. I know for me, man, this offseason, so many things has happened to me. I had a cold, not COVID, but I had a cold that lasted almost 3 weeks, which I don't know, you may hear a little bit right now. So, hey, man, I hope you get well, and so you can scream and cheer on this Carolina Panthers team. Yeah, I'm excited to cover Baker Mayfield just in the fact that I know he's going to give you some entertainment. We won't have to do clickbait, and I never do, but you won't have to do clickbait with Baker Mayfield. He'll give you some good information. Sometimes I need to remember these guys are people. I tend to think of these guys as trading cards. Yeah, and you know what? If you watch me long enough, I love to humanize these players. Instead of being just player number 1 or player 72, I like to give you guys an opportunity to get to know these players a little more deeply. I feel like that helps you root for this team, and helps you through the tough times that we may have until we get to the great times. So glad that you realize that, yes, they are people. So, I try to keep my comments not personal and just more professional. Oh, Peter does not like Baker Mayfield. We like rejects. Well, everybody gets traded around. There's not too many guys that have played their full career with a team. Sometimes it's not so much your reject. It just wasn't a good fit between player and coach or something like that. So we got him. We got him. I will not smack Rule or Tepper when I see them tomorrow, but I appreciate you coming in and giving me something to talk about. Do you know when he's supposed to have a press conference, Alex? So, no, Alec, I do not know when we're going to have the press conference with Baker Mayfield. Could it be tomorrow? I feel like it could be, but I really don't have an educated guess on when we're going to have the opportunity to have the press conference with Baker Mayfield. Here's somebody that does like the trade. Panthers Buzz FSU, appreciate you liking that trade. We got him for half a bag of Skittles. Definitely can't. Edward, I agree with you. You got a guy to try out. You got a guy that has some possibility. You got a guy, if nothing else, you got a guy that is going to very much legitimately compete with Sam Darnold. You got a guy with some NFL experience. And how that helps you is that if Sam Darnold quacks out, is terrible, you would have to go to Matt Corral. Now, I like Matt Corral for what he can be, but there's very few quarterbacks that could come in their first year out of college and be impactful their first season in the NFL. It's really, really tough. So this gives you the opportunity to deal with the possibilities of this season a lot better. And for a half a bag of Skittles, right? So it's a good deal. D. White says Baker will have a chip on his shoulder. Let's be real now. Stat-wise, he isn't the best, but he won more games in 4 years than that franchise has won in the previous 10. It's exactly my point. You don't know what Baker's going to do. Baker certainly has some things that he needs to improve on. But if Matt Rule can be a good coach and connect to him, if Ben McAdoo could be a good coach and connect to him, if people can connect to him and control these things, and you have an offensive line that is able to kind of keep him at peace and not feel like he has to sling something out there. And you have Christian McCaffrey. If Christian McCaffrey is healthy, and you may not even have to have Baker Mayfield out there having to sling the ball all the time, because you got the all-purpose quarterback dream of a handoff, little dip, whatever to the Christian McCaffrey to make you look good, that you can. It just gives us possibilities. I think it just gives us so many possibilities on finding something that works with any circumstance that could arise. What's up, Lonnie? Hey, from Oregon. Found your channel. I appreciate you. Subscribed as well. Hey, Lori, I'm sorry. Don't unsubscribe because I said your name wrong. Lonnie, I appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing. I got the nickname Man of the People because I love working for fans. I love taking your questions and getting those answered. So I plan to make it worth your while for subscribing. Thank you so much. Look for more content. And if you subscribed and have not hit that bell notification, please do that because 80%-ish of my content is live. The only thing I don't do live is things I can't do live, such as my one-on-one player interview. So thank you, Lonnie. Hope for the best for these quarterback corps. Me too. Now, that helps me to remember that we now have 4 quarterbacks: P.J. Walker, Matt Corral, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. Ooh, I think we got 5 quarterbacks. Man, let me just look it up because there's no reason for me to say the wrong name. So let me look this up so I can say this guy's name properly. Let's see here. I need to get the phonetic spelling. Davis Cheek. I was going to say Cheeks. Davis Cheek. Those are all the quarterbacks that we have on the roster. 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Will P.J. Walker make it through? I don't think he should. Not that I don't like the guy, but if you got Baker Mayfield, number one, not saying he's number one, but you got Baker Mayfield, you got Sam Darnold. Those are your 2 guys for sure. Matt Corral, okay, so what? He hasn't signed his contract. Matt Corral is going to be your 3rd. There is no reason at all to keep 4 on the 53-man roster. I don't know if there's ability for some of these guys to be like practice squad or whatever, because I know there's change with COVID. But in terms of that 53-man roster, yeah, P.J. Walker's going to be out. And let's continue to move on through some of the questions here. Baker better stay away from that number 1 jersey. Price, man, you don't like the Baker Mayfield acquisition. I'm assuming is what those Z's are about, but I think it gives us some options. Options are always good. And thank you, Edward. I should have seen it. You know what? I have some of the best, if not the best, informed subscribers, because sometimes when I don't remember that I'm going to talk about something and then pull the facts, you guys are often pretty accurate at giving me those facts, so I appreciate it. Did you hear about him getting a workout together with some other receivers, running backs, and tight ends? I have heard about that. I don't have a direct source, but I have heard that secondhand, that is something that he may be trying to do, and as well as he should. And I'm sure some of those quarterbacks would. And I wonder what it's like, right? Being DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and you get the call from Baker Mayfield like, hey, you want to practice? And you're kind of like, okay, well, I'll just practice it with Sam. I guess, yeah, I need to. Anyway, do what we got to do to win. What's going on, Leonard? Appreciate you tuning in. And let me see who got this. Y'all think Robbie is retiring? Nah, Robbie's not retiring, but Robbie is for me, I'd say a complicated guy. I haven't figured him out. Maybe he doesn't want you to figure him out. He's tweeted some things and videos where I'm just like, think I got Robbie, but then I totally don't have Robbie. So I just go to respect that I don't know Robbie, but I'm certainly highly looking forward to talking with Robbie Anderson. Reporters have been blocked out of the locker rooms for 2 years now, which has prevented us from being able to have some intimate conversations with people, to have some more analysis to share with you all. So I definitely look for some of that opportunity with Robbie. You hope that Robbie and Baker can work together. Yep. Yeah, B. Evans, man. How have you been? How have you been? Yes, man of the people, what's up? We still here. Yes, we are still here. So excited for this upcoming season. So, as you know, news can get a little slow in the off season. But I promise you, you will see coverage from me like you have never seen before when training camp starts in Spartanburg. So I appreciate everybody that's been here. I appreciate everybody that's coming here, and we're gonna have a good time. Gonna have a good time for sure. Did Sam get them together to train? So that's Sam. Uh, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm sorry. At first, I was thinking about something else that you're repeating a question, but you're asking if Sam Darnold has gotten the players together to train. Maybe not, but I don't know for sure. I do not know. So that is all you guys' questions. Appreciate that. And here's Taylor Styles. Crazy to think we got the first and third overall picks in the 2018 draft. And even crazier is with that, we had the first and third picks of the 2018 draft and still don't know if we're going to make the playoffs, right? So that goes to show you how hard it is to get a good quarterback in this league, that we have two first and third picks. I didn't want to give you the finger. And we still don't know what our quarterback situation is going to be. We're hoping that this means that at least we will have a respectable season. That is crazy. And thank you for bringing it up, Taylor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tired of fighting this Baker thing. He's on the team now, so we just have to roll with him at this point. Yes, we're gonna roll with him for sure. We're gonna roll with him. Question for you, and then I'm gonna go because I started this pretty late. I want your quick opinion, and I'm gonna give my opinion. I know there's a little bit of delay, so I'm gonna spit this out. Do you think that if Baker Mayfield gets this team to the playoffs, that secures Baker returning for 2023? Again, it's a delay, so I'm going to repeat it one more time because I want to get your comments. Just say yes or no. Go ahead and type a comment so I can share it with everybody. Do you think if Baker Mayfield gets his team to the playoffs this season, that he will return in the 2023 season? So while I give you all the time, a moment to type your responses, of course, this is a little complicated, right? Maybe he gets us to the playoffs and he's wanted by other teams and they offer him a bigger contract. And you can't get him back. So instead of making it that complicated, and again, let me know your comments. Do you think Baker Mayfield would, is worthy of returning if he makes, I should put it like that. Is he worthy of returning? Meaning, should we make an offer? Should we make an attempt? So Jay Prey says yes. I said I was going to put you on the screen. Let me be a man of my words. There we go. So we got a yes. That's one. We got, man, I can't do this right. We got a yes, 2, 3. Franchise tag, but that's a yes. 4. Conditional, but I'll take it. 5. 6. Edward, I'm going to count this as a 7. We're not going to make it too complicated. 8. All right, there you go. That's interesting. So I agree. If Baker Mayfield gets his team to the playoffs, I'm not saying will he or won't he be on the team, but is he worthy? Has he earned the right to come back to this team next year? Meaning make an offer, make an attempt, Baker come back. Yeah. Yes. I feel that he has earned that opportunity. Of course, it gets complicated from there so far down the road. We can't predict those things. How much money will he want? How good was he really in making that? But it's on the surface, not making this complicated. Yes, I think he would earn the right to return to the team if he takes us to the playoffs. And of course, once you see what that looks like, was it barely making it? Was it making it? And you saw many times that Baker Mayfield made some plays as a quarterback to make that happen. We'll see. All right. So that concludes tonight's broadcast. Appreciate you watching very much. I don't know when we're going to have Baker, but when we do, I'll come back online. Nevertheless, a Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. I appreciate everybody for tuning in late night, especially, and I have to say especially because Lonnie's new and from Oregon. I don't think I've ever had any subscribers from Oregon. So a special thanks to Lonnie for subscribing. Like the video, please. It helps me to do what I love to do and helps me do things that you guys like me to do, such as interview players. The bigger I grow, trust me, the easier it is for me to work things to get people on here. Hey, everybody have a good night. See you soon.